Alright, the Master Duel ban list just dropped and you're telling yourself, man, Susu, my decks are really ass. Well, you've come to the right place. What's going on, guys? My name is Susu from Head-to-Head Battles, and in today's episode, we're gonna go over not 1, not 2, not 13, but 5 of the decks that I think are really going to be good. And these are decks that are going to be improved upon, as we move into the format, but we are going to be changing these deck lists considerably, considering we got a pretty big ban list in this update. Weird. They did a pretty good job, actually. But okay, this is going to be one of those longer videos because there are 5 decks in here, kind of like 6, because I do have a different variant to one of them, but we aren't going to be going too in-depth card by card, and I'm only going to be showing you the combo video for one, because realistically, only one of these need a combo video, all right? So, without further ado, let's get into it. Before we do, though, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below what deck you're taking into the next format, but yeah. Let's get into it. All right, so the first deck that I do want to talk about is going to be Floowandereeze. Now, this deck didn't change much because the extra Pot of Prosperities were only kind of like a nice to have. You still get to run the 1 Pot of Prosperity and the dualities. I'm just not a big fan of extravagance because realistically, I'd rather dig for cards rather than just draw 2 random cards. But let's go over the card by card. We are playing triple Floowandereeze and Robina. That is pretty normal. We are playing triple Floowandereeze and Eaglin. Again, Robina will search you a level 4 and under, and Eaglin will search you a level 7 or higher. But, this is something we already know. We've been dealing with it for a really long time, okay? We are playing 1 Floowandereeze and Stree. This is really good to recycle D-Shifter if you've opened multiple, and you can shifter your opponent for literally 4 turns in a row, okay? Next, we're playing the 1 Taken. Really good to help recycle our M-Pen because we are only playing 1. Next, we're playing the triple Maxi. Again, really bad up against the Floowandereeze matchup. Well, in the mirror match, but really good against literally everything else. We are playing the triple Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. Really good card, especially during rogue matchups. Really good. The one thing that we're not doing today is I'm not going to be showing you the Hulk or Auroradon decks because we've had enough of that. I don't want to have my part in doing so that you have to play against it even more, okay? Next, we are playing the 1 Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds. One quick tip on Stormwinds: if you can't search it off of Robina because you need to search Eaglin off of Robina, it's okay because you can, you're able to summon it when you do flip over your trap card as well. And it's also really good because they can't just randomly out your Stormwinds if they have a card to do so. Next, we're playing triple Dimension Shifter. You already know my stance on this card. This card is insanely good. If your deck can play it, you definitely run 3 of it in the main deck. Well, obviously, there are no side decks in Master Duels, but you get my point. All right, next, we are playing the 1 Mist Valley Apex Avion. I think this card is really good in the mirror match and also in a very simplified game state. A lot of people have been cutting this card for double M-Pen or double Ryza, but I think playing 1/1/1 just gives you a bit more options. We are playing the 1 Ryza, obviously. Really good to balance cards and to recycle your own cards to put on the top of your own deck. We're out playing the 1 Floowandereeze and M-Pen. This card is insanely good because it does give you your main combo piece, which is your trap card, okay? We are playing a little bit of an interesting spell lineup. We are playing the 1 Raigeki, really important. We are playing the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, but we are only running 2 Lightning Storm. So technically, we have 4 copies of Lightning Storm, depending on the the situation and the scenario that we need. You could play 3 Lightning Storms to give you a 42 card deck because this is 41. But at the end of the day, you have to think about statistics and variance and the hyper geometric calculator to kind of determine what's worth it and what's not. We are also playing the 1 Terraforming. Again, 4 copies of the field spell is really OP because your field spell is really OP, okay? Next, we're playing the triple Pot of Duality. I was playing 3 Prosperity and 2 Duality, but now that Prosperity is at 1, we can bump the Duality up to 3 and play the 1 to still give us 4 really powerful search/draw cards. Again, we're playing the 1 Prosperity. Unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure why this was hit on the ban list, but it was. I'm not complaining. Whatever, okay? Next, we're playing the triple Floowandereeze and the Magnificent Map. This card is really good. Realistically, you seeing Map and Eaglin is way better than you seeing Map and Robina, simply because it'll allow you to add the level 7 early if you do have another summon in your hand, okay? Next, we are playing the 1 Floowandereeze and the Unexplored Winds. If you do guys watch me on twitch.tv/Head-to-Head Battles, where we stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I teach you how to beat the mirror match. And I know you won't know if it's the mirror match or not because obviously it's a best of 1, but this card is definitely your out to the mirror match. Or you can use the Raska card to hand rip your opponent for 3, but realistically, this is also a pretty good method, okay? Next, we are playing triple Book of Moon. We are getting the Advent of Adventure in the next pack, I think, so that will replace this, and you only play 2 of the Advent of Adventure, giving you a nice 40-card deck. But for now, if you want to dodge Imperm and Veiler, Book of Moon is definitely your best option, okay? Next, we're playing double Called by the Grave, because Ash is definitely a card that really hurts, but obviously Called by the Grave conflicts a lot with Dimension Shifter, because there's no Ash in the graveyard to Shifter, because it's in the banish pile, okay? Next, we're playing the 1 Crossout Designator. I think this is still really important because we are playing Ash. If we do see Crossout Designator, realistically, Ash is the only real card that we lose to, because nobody's maining Droll and Lockbird in their main deck, okay? And now we're playing the 1 Floowandereeze and the Dreaming Town. Now, for this deck, in the extra deck, it doesn't really matter. You can play whatever you want, but the cards that you need to be playing are: 1 is the Literalist Assembled Nightingale, which is your gateway into Downerd Magician, which is your gateway into Zeus. Now, you almost rarely never make Zeus, so realistically speaking, you can literally spend no money on the extra deck part of this deck, but those are the only real 3 cards that you need. Also, Relinquished Anima is really good because it does require a level 1 monster, and if your opponent isn't respecting the zones, you're going to catch them off guard really, really well. Another card that I do recommend is Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. Now, this deck is really good at flooding the board with monsters that are really weak, but Underworld Goddess of the Closed World will help you out cards like the Link 6 Adagnister, because you can link off with it, because linking, tributing, fusioning, whatever, those aren't card effects, those are game mechanics, and there's no card, at least to my knowledge, that dodges game mechanics. All right, so that's it for that deck. Again, for the extra deck, you can put whatever you want, and I'm not saying this is the end-all be-all. You can, put whatever you want in this deck to kind of spice it up yourself, but use this as a preliminary skeleton list to kind of help you along the way. All right, so let's move on to the next deck. All right, so the next deck that I do want to talk about is Altergiest. We got a multi-faker to 2, and Altergiest is actually one of my favorite trap decks alongside Trap Trick. So let's get into it. This deck is really good, and I'm basing all of this off of why I think this is the best, is that out of 10 games, so I played 10 games with each deck, or with a lot of decks rather, on stream, and I wanted to see if I can have at least a 70% win rate, and these are the 5 decks that made it here, okay? So just really quick, keep that in mind. All right, so for the Altergeist deck, we are playing triple Altergeist Melseek. This card is really good as a turn 1 normal summon, because you can normal summon this card, link it off into Link Karibo, and then go Melseek, summon, or rather search you a multi-faker if you don't already have one in your hand. So it's really, really cool. Also, you can attack directly with it, and then you can pop a card and send it to the graveyard. It's actually a targeted send and not a targeted destruction, which is really, really powerful. Okay, next, we are playing double Altergeist Pookwary. You could bump this up to 3 to play a 41 card deck, but this card is really good because 1, it helps you chain block, because if you use this as material, and you can use it from the hand to link off, you can add it back to your hand, and that's an activated effect, and you can chain block the Melseek so it doesn't get Ash Blossom. So it's really, really, really nice, okay? Next, we are playing the triple Maxi, because again, it's only bad against Flu, but really good against everything else. Next, we're playing double Altergeist Silkwittis. This card is kind of like one of the better cards in the deck, and it's one of your main sources of removal. This card reads, quick effect, you can return one other Altergeist card you control to the hand, then target 1 card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. Now, you can use that for like Altergeist Protocol or Altergeist Manifestation as well, so keep that in mind. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target an Altergeist trap in your graveyard and add it to your hand, which is also really, really nice. Next, we are playing double Altergeist Multifaker. Now, there's a reason we're not playing Lava Golem. There's a reason we're not playing the Lord of the Heavenly Prisons, because if you want to resolve Multifaker, you can't special summon anything else but Geist monsters for that turn, so keep that in mind. So normally you're going to activate a trap card, this will summon itself, then this card will summon out Silk, and then Silkwittis can bounce a card and even bounce the Multifaker back into your hand, which is really, really nice. Next, we are playing the triple Altergeist Marionetter. This card is really good because it gives you easy access to like protocol and stuff if you don't have it in your opening hand. And on top of that, this card allows you to beat over monsters, because if you make Hextia and then you summon the Marionetter under where Hestia is pointed to, it'll be 3100, and there are not a lot of monsters that meta decks are summoning that are over or like 3,000 and over, right? Next, we are playing the one Altergeist and Conquery. This card is absolutely insane, because when an opponent's monster declares an attack, if you control an Altergeist card, that includes traps as well, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, negate the attack, and if it's special summoned, you can target a face-up card your opponent controls and negate the effects of that card while this is still face-up on the field. And at the end phase, you can also use Silk to bounce the Conk back into the hand, which is really, really nice, because then you can recur your Conquery over and over again, okay? Next, we're playing Triple Pot of Extravagance. You really don't need that many draw cards in the deck. I think Extrav is more than enough, and that's why in our extra deck, we are going to be playing like 3 of almost everything, minus our Celine Access Code package, which you rarely go into because this is not an OTK deck, all right? Next, we're playing Double Evenly Matched. Now, I know this is really weird, but we aren't playing any kind of like back row removal in the deck, and this also beats Anti-Spell Fragrance, so Evenly Match is really cool. And after you resolve Evenly Match, you can resolve Faker, which is insane, because not only do you clear most of your opponent's board, but you can go Faker summon Silk and then clear that last card on the field, okay? Next, we are playing Double Altergeist Manifestation. Realistically, you could play one, but it is sometimes really nice to draw this, because you can use this to summon the Silk, and then Silk can bounce the trap back into your hand to bounce a card. It's really cool, actually. It's a really cool interaction, all right? Next, we're playing Triple Infinite Impermanence. This is really cool because turn 0, if you have Imperm and Faker in your hand, you can turn 0, Imperm a monster, summon Faker, summon Silk, and then have a bounce on turn 0, which is really, really scary, all right? Next, we are playing Double Dogmatica Punishment. Now, this is kind of like a last resort card, but still a good card nonetheless. Realistically, I'm thinking about cutting this because I did alter my extra deck right before recording this video. Realistically, I'm not entirely sure what I would replace it with yet, but definitely let me know in the comment section down below what we would replace it with, because realistically, if you look at the extra deck right now, you see these 5 cards. These were like Entis, Fossil Skull Knight Warrior, and other utility cards for punishment, but I opted to kind of just play 3 of everything just in case, okay? So these are 2 cards that can be easily replaced. Maybe like play a 3rd Solemn Strike, because we are only playing 2, and then play Triple Evenly Matches just to have that board removal presence, right? So Solemn Strike, we are playing it at 2. I'm not a big fan of playing it at 3 because 1, if you are low in life points, it's just a dead card in your hand. But going first, most of the time, you're not going to be that low in life points, so keep that in mind. Next, we are playing Triple Rivalry of the Warlords. This card says each player can only control 1 type of monster, and luckily for you, you only play spellcasters. So keep that in mind. Rivalry is actually really, really good in this deck. Next, we are playing Double Summon Limit. This card is really, really good because realistically, you're only ever summoning like Faker, Silk, Bounce, and if they're under Summon Limit, you just start out advantaging them on every turn thereafter. So I think Summon Limit is still a really good card in this deck. Next, we're playing Double Altergeist Protocol. This card is really, really good because it reads that the activation and effects of Altergeist cards activated on your field cannot be negated, which is really, really insane. And then when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can send one other face-up Altergeist card you control to negate the activation and then destroy it, which basically also acts like a Solemn Strike that you don't need to pay life points for. So still a really good card. And lastly, we're playing Triple Personal Spoofing. It should have been Altergeist Spoofing. I don't know why it's Personal Spoofing, but this card, well, you can activate it, shuffle an Altergeist card back into your deck, add Multi-Faker, and then Multi-Faker will trigger after because you've activated a trap card within that same chain, all right? So keep that in mind. So in our extra deck, pretty simple. We're playing Triple Link Karibo because we need Link material that we can use to get Meluseek off the field, and Link Karibo and Almirage will get us there. Realistically, when you're banishing 6, one of these 5 cards will still be in your extra deck, so fingers crossed, I guess. We're playing the Triple Hextia, which is really good because 1, it's a spell and trap negate if something is underneath it, which is really cool, and it's a good way to OTK or just put more damage on the board because it will gain the attack of whatever it's pointing to. Next, we're playing the 1 Halka-Fibrax, the 1 Celine, and the 1 Access Code Talker. Realistically, if you don't have access to Extract turn 1 and you ever do need yourself to be going into access, definitely a really good way to do so. Next, we're playing the double Prima Banshee. Realistically, you don't really need to play it. Hextia is probably your most important one. And then we're playing double Altergeist Memory Gaunt. This card is also really good because it does kind of act like a, board removal slash, OTK monster. Realistically, again, I rarely go into it. This is a control deck. Your main point isn't to OTK, but I think that this deck list is really good, minus the punishments. We can figure something out as a community, but let's move over to deck number 3. All right, so for the third deck on my list is going to be Tribrigade Zoodiac. Now, this deck has actually gotten much better after that ban list, unironically. So let's quickly go over this deck profile. All right, so we're playing triple Tribrigade Nerval, which is really good because when you mill it, you can add any of your other Tribrigades to your hand. We're playing triple Maxi because, again, Maxi is just really good. Obviously not against Flu, but good against everything else. All right, so we're playing double Cuirass. Now, Cuirass is really good, and definitely one of the cards you're going to add if you didn't have it in your opening hand already. Okay, next we are playing triple Tribrigade Kit. This card is really good because you can normal summon it, link it off for Almirage, and then use Kit effect to dump Nerval, and then use Nerval effect to add you Cuirass or Fractal or whatever that it is that you need. Okay. For our hand trap lineup, well, for the monsters at least, we're playing triple Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, again, in conjunction with Maxi. But yeah, we are playing a lot of hand traps on this deck because this deck can really, realistically go first or second. It's really good at doing both. Okay, so we're playing triple Ash Blossom. We are playing the 1 Ghost Spell in Haunted Mansion. Like, unironically, it comes up a lot more than you would think because, 1, it stops Call by the Grave, which is insanely good, and 2, there are some weird matchups in the meta right now where Ghost Spell is actually more impactful than any other hand trap in the game. Okay, next we're playing the 1 Zoodiac Whiptail. Okay, we're playing the 1 Zoodiac Thoroughblade, and then we are playing the 1 Zoodiac Ram. This is basically our way to go into Zeus later on, or if we're going second and we can break the board, or if we've hand trapped our opponent enough, we can break their board, make the Zeus, and then put them on a better have it type of situation. Okay, next we're playing the double Fractal. Again, I don't miss it. It's okay. We're technically playing 4 copies because we do have access to 2 copies of Tenki. So realistically, you're playing 4 copies of Tribrigade Fractal. Okay, next, we're playing the double Nibiru. I think Nibiru is still insanely powerful because if you can negate their kind of Omni Negate or Monster Negate, and then Nibiru the Hulk Dawn combo decks, it's still insanely powerful. The best time to do it is after they summon the tokens off of Aurora Dawn. And I mean, unironically, if they still do have a way into Tomahawk, they'll still make a negate or 2, but definitely not, that unbreakable board that we are used to. Okay, next we're playing the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster because realistically, we do play a lot of hand traps. I'm not really expecting to lose to combo heavy decks, but back row heavy decks definitely. So we're playing the 1 Duster and the double Lightning Storms with the exclusion of Raigeki because, again, we have multiple ways to break the board, a multitude of hand traps. I think it's just completely unnecessary. Okay, next, we're playing Pot of Desires, something that hasn't been on the hit on the ban list, at least in Master Duels. This card is insanely good because most of the time we're playing 3 of everything, and most of the time, my recommendation to people who do play Desires is let it resolve as a last thing to like draw into just more hand traps or everything else after the combo, because you don't want to be banishing too many combo pieces. All right, next, we're playing double Call by the Grave. Again, just an absolute mandatory staple in the deck, in conjunction with the 1 Crossout Designator, because we are playing a lot of hand traps, so we have the ability to cross out Designator most hand traps in the game, because we're playing most hand traps in the game. Okay, next we're playing triple Forbidden Droplet. This card is insanely good because it'll trigger like Kit and Nerval, which is insanely powerful, and on top of that, if we chain it to Revolt, we can send the Revolt as well, making this card an absolute staple in this deck. Next, we're playing double Infinite Impermanence. Card is insanely good in the meta right now. With the ability to stop Halka-Fibrax, Aurora Dawn, and Galaxy Tomahawk or whatever. That card's insane, bro. The card's insanely good. And finally, we're playing double Tribrigade Revolt. I know some players like to play 1, which is, I think, extremely incorrect, and some players like to play 3, which I like better than 1, but I think 2 is definitely the, you know, the best sweet spot, all right? Next, for our extra deck, we are playing Zoodiac Tiger Mortar, the 1 Zoodiac Trident. We're playing the 1 Zoodiac Borbo to, you know, go into Zeus, obviously. And the 1 Chakanine, which is just basically more bridges into Zeus, right? Because it'll give us a 4/2/5 material Zeus. And if they end up popping a card, we can use the Zeus effect to add another piece of material underneath it, which is really cool. Next, we're playing the 1 Salamangreat Almirage, so we can link off the kit to hopefully get deeper into our combo, because whenever you normal summon kit, your hand isn't that great. We're playing the double Tribrigade Frigid, the Barren Blossom. This card is really good. Kind of like is a hand fixer, because you draw 1, put 1 back, and on top of that, it helps you to special summon another Tribrigade from your hand, so you can use its effect to go into another link to hopefully be able to go into a Bear Brum. This card will allow you to grab your trap card, but you know this already, so we're going to quickly breeze through this, okay? Next, we're playing the Desperate Doom Eagle, okay? This card's really good. Easily helps you get into a 5300 attack access code talker. We're playing the 1 Silver Sheller, which basically does the same thing, while at the same time allows us to special summon a level 4 or lower, and then add it back to our hand in the end phase. We're playing the 1 Appaloosa most of the time. This is the card that you will go into, like Apple for 4, set 2 with the hand trap in your hand, hopefully. We're playing the 1 Access Code Talker, the 1 and double Tribrigade. Wait, hold on. Royal Finish 1. Double Tribrigade Shirag, the Ominous Omen. This card is insanely good because 1, it's a non-targeting banished, and 2, if it goes to the graveyard, you can search a Beast Warrior or Wing Beast monster from the deck to your hand, which is insanely powerful. Okay, so that's going to be it for deck number 3. Deck number 4 is a bit more spicy. All right, so deck number 4 is a bit more spicy, and it is one of my favorite, and a lot of people have been asking me for this deck profile because I've never put it up because I haven't been as sure as I am today. This is the 60 card Gren Maju the God deck list. Let's go over it in detail. All right, so we're playing Triple Eater of Millions. This card is really good because it allows you to feed your Gren Maju very, very much, allowing you to banish your entire extra deck, hand, and field, and then summon Gren Maju and punch for game. Insanely good. It also has the benefit of attacking and then using its effect to banish that card face down. We're playing Triple Gren Maju the Aiza in a 60 card deck. You definitely want to be playing 3, because in the 45 card variant I only played 2, but in the 60 you definitely play 3 because you do actually want to see it. All right, next we're playing double Necroface. In this deck, because you're playing Pot of Desires, Gizmek, and now the addition of Golden Castle, you banish about 25 cards a turn. It's always nice to hold the Necroface in your hand or even banish it off of like a lure. But, you know, being able to hold it, summon it, and then kind of get all your resources back is really nice. But in this OTK deck, you really are not worried about turn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because after turn 2, when you're going second, you're probably winning the game anyways. Next, we're playing Triple Dimension Shifter. This card is insane. Probably the best card in the game, printed to date. Don't quote me on it. We're playing the 1 Dino Wrestler Pankratops because, again, we want to try our best to break the board, but I'm thinking about cutting this card because it's most of the time a 1-for-1 trade. And I know you can argue like, but Susu, but Kaijus are 1-for-1 trades too, but when I get to summon a Kaiju, I can summon my own Kaiju to my own side of the field if I open multiple Kaijus. So I think that's why Kaijus are infinitely better, but Pankratops is still a decent card, but I might cut it for something else, okay? Next, we're playing Triple Lava Golem. If you're tired of Halcyon combos as much as I am, then you know that being able to Lava Golem, they're like Borload Savage, and they're Barone, and then like Kaiju, that other slippery, slimy thing that doesn't let you special summon Darks or whatever. Insanely good. And on top of that, it is a level 8. And in conjunction with Alpha, the Master of Beast, we can get rid of their negates, summon the Alpha, the Master of Beast, use its effect, get the Lava Golem back, and then Lava Golem them again. It's kind of insane, kind of cheeky, but I still love it, all right? Now, for our Kaiju lineup, we are playing double Dogran, the Mad Flame Kaiju. We're playing triple Gamma Seal, the Sea Turtle Kaiju, the best turtle, you already know. And then we're playing triple Godarla, the Mystery Dust Kaiju. This card actually comes up a lot because, unironically, whenever I'm playing against a Floowandereeze player and they barrier statue me, I somehow always have this in my hand. So thank you, Konami. I appreciate you a lot. Next, we're playing 2 new cards that you might have not heard from our channel. Tribrigade. This card is insanely good. It's a level 8 free special summon in conjunction with the field spell, okay? So 1, you can target and pop a card, and if you do that in the battle phase, you can attack into a card and make something permanently gain 400 attack, and it can attack twice on monsters only. On monsters only, I know, but still really insane. This is actually the only brick in the deck, so just keep that in mind. For our danger package, nothing really changes. We're up playing the triple danger Bigfoot, because again, being able to discard itself and then pop a face-up card is really insane. And then the summon and a draw 1 is also insane, because all the dangers we play are level 8, and that is no different for Danger Thunderbird as well, okay? But when this card gets discarded, you can pop a face down card, okay? And that could be set cards as well, so keep that in mind. Next, we're playing the best card in this deck, Gizmek Orochi, the Serpentron Sky Slasher. Now, we can banish 8 cards and then, summon it from our hand, which is still really, really powerful. And if you summon it in your opponent's end phase, on your own turn, you can use its effect to banish 3 cards and to, blow up a face-up monster on the field, all right? Next, we've already talked about Alpha. Now, for our spell lineup, we're playing the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, because this deck does lose to back row decks. And you'll see we play a lot of back row removal. We're playing the 1 Terraforming, so we can search our Golden Castle of Stromberg. We're playing the triple trade-in. It says discard a level 8, draw 2 cards. Almost everything in our deck is level 8, at least for our monster lineup. Obviously we're playing the Maju, Necroface, the Shifters, and the Eaters. But for those, we're playing Allure of Darkness, okay? So hopefully we see a good combination of cards in our hand to be able to draw as many cards as we can, okay? Now, this card is really good in conjunction with, extra Dimension Shifters in your hand or a Necroface in your hand as well, all right? Next, we're playing triple Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. This card is infinitely better than Lightning Storm in this deck simply because it will summon you a level 8. Forget Kaijus. It summons you a level 8, all right? Next, we're playing the triple Pot of Desires. One of the best cards in this deck. Also a really good card to bait out hand traps, because you almost care more about the banish 10 than the draw 2, which is actually insane, okay? Next, we're playing triple Lightning Storm, because again, we hate back row decks. And now the creme de la creme, okay? The Golden Castle of Stromberg. Okay, so in the standby phase, you banish 10 for maintenance cost. Your opponent can't stop that, okay? Unless they Lancea you in the draw phase, okay? Now, during the main phase, you can special summon Tribrigade onto the field. So you get a free level 8, which is a pop. It can make something gain 400 permanently, and it can attack monsters twice. And the monster, the body is huge, okay? But here's the cool part. When your opponent declares an attack on anything, even on you directly, this card will activate, blowing up that monster, and your opponent takes half of that monster's attack on the field. So it's not its original attack, it's the attack on the field, which is really good. It's not once per turn. I've had people literally OTK themselves with just this card on the field. It's insane, actually insane, okay? Now, for our rest of the main deck, we're playing the double Twin Twister. This card is really good because it says discard 1 card. So if you go Twin Twister and pitch Thunderbird, you can actually pop 3 set cards. Or if you go Twin Twister, pitch a Danger Bigfoot, you can pop a face up card plus the 2 spell and traps. And if you discard Gizmek, now you have a body that you can summon from the graveyard, which is really insane. Next, we're playing the double Concentrating Current. This card says I can target a face-up monster that I control. It gains attack equal to its current defense until the end of this turn. Now, if your opponent infinite impermanences you, you can chain Concentrating Current. It will double the attack, lock it in place, and then the imperm will only negate it. So technically, it keeps the original attack it had before any interactions that you've had with it, which is actually really, really cool. All right, now, for our extra deck, we'll go over pretty quickly. We're playing the number 100 Numeron Dragon. This card is a 1-card 9,000 attack beat stick. Underneath it, we're going to be using Dragluon to put it underneath. because with the effect of Dragooblion, it says I can special summon a numbered dragon monster and then attach a numbered dragon monster underneath it as material. So when you technically you summon Dragooblion, which is your 3rd summon, and then you summon Numeron Dragon, which is your 4th summon, and then you can OTK even before they even have a chance in Nibiru, okay? Next, we're playing the number 23 Lancelot Dark Knight of the Underworld. This card is also really good because 1, it's a mandatory Omni Negate, which is really good, but 2, it attacks directly, and if you do get to do that, you can destroy a face-up monster your opponent controls and destroy it, which is really cool. Now, all the cards here will gateway into Zeus, but, you know, we'll kind of get into that in a little bit, okay? Next, we're playing number 38 Hope Harbinger, just in case they make you go first, or if a Numeron player is there. This card is really good because once per turn, when a spell card or effect is activated on the field, you can negate that effect and then attach that card to its material. So if your opponent goes Numeron Network, you can use Hope Harbinger to negate it and then take it, so they can't even Numeron Calling if they have it in the hand, okay? Next, we're playing the 168 Sanafon the Sky Prison. This card is really good because it can't be destroyed by card effects, and it's a huge body, especially if they're playing a combo deck, so this card gets beefed up a lot. And when you activate the effect, neither player can special summon from the graveyard, which is really, really powerful, okay? Next, we're playing the 1 Dingirsu 1. It has really good protection because it doesn't activate to protect itself and the rest of the board. And on top of that, it's a non-targeting send, which is really, really powerful, okay? Next, we're playing the 1 Hieratic Sky Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis. I need to be honest, I don't go into this, so I'm not going to be explaining it. We're playing the number 84 Pain Gainer. This card is insanely good, but it is just a gateway into number 77, the 7 Sins. This card is also like Dingirsu in the fact that it can protect itself from destruction and it doesn't activate, which is really, really nice. And on top of that, it's a 4,000 beat stick, which is basically a towers and really, really hard to get over. And you can use the 7 Sins in conjunction with Concentrating Current to give you a 7,000 beat stick for the turn. And funnily enough, if you open both currents, you can chain them both to itself. So this will effectively be a 10,000 beat stick, okay? Next, we're playing the 1 double A Zeus, which is insane because we can make a 4 material Zeus, which is really, really nice. We're playing the 1 Heat to the Fire Charmer because we can hopefully, you know, if they ash you or something, we can make it with Gren Maju because Maju is a fire, but we just never really go into it. We're playing the 1 Win because we are playing Godarla, but again, we just don't go into it. And the 1 Lina, which we never go into. The 1 Link monster that we actually do go into is Black Luster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. Against strikers, against trap decks, the fact that this can't be targeted with card effects and it can't be destroyed by card effects, and you can beef it up to 4,500 after the battle phase, it's kind of a towers all in its own. All right, so let's move on to the final deck, which is going to be a variant of Virtual Worlds Pure and then Brave Virtual Worlds. I'm going to be showing you the combo for Brave Virtual Worlds because the combo is generally the same but more consistent in the pure variant. So let me know in the comment section down below if you prefer the pure variant or the brave variant after watching this. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, so this is pure Virtual Worlds. Okay, so we're gonna go over really quickly because I'm gonna be showing you the combo in the brave variant, but the combos are generally the same without VFD or True King of All Calamities and Gossip Shadow. Okay, so we're playing the triple Maxi again. I don't need to know how many times I explained it in the video, but Maxi is insane. We're playing triple Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. And now for our Virtual World lineup, we are playing double Virtual World Nian Nian because, again, being able to dump it into the graveyard, go Lao Lao, summon back the GG, and then Nian triggering to summon itself back as a tuner is insanely powerful, and you'll see that in the combo. We're playing the triple Lulus. Lulus are insanely good because you can go Lulu target Chuche, send the King Long, and then add the GG into your hand. We're playing the triple GG. This card is really good, and you want to try resolving it every turn because it allows you to recycle the Lulu back into your hand or whatever Virtual World monster back into your hand that you may need for the following clapback. We're playing the double Lao Lao. I mean, realistically, even when I was at 3, it felt really awkward to play at 3 because this is one of the most dead cards if you open it multiples. Even if you can discard it off of a card effect, it's not that powerful. All right, next, we're playing the triple Virtual World Lily. Lily is really good because you can dump a spell and a trap if you target a monster, or mid combo you can dump kind of like the spell and Nian Nian, because Nian Nian is one of those that you really do want to be dumping into the graveyard. We're playing the double Nibiru, the Primal Being, because if we are playing Maxi and they want to take the Maxi challenge, you really punish them with the Nibiru. We're playing the one Harpy's Feather Duster, which is our only back row removal card in the deck, so use it wisely. We are playing the one Foolish Burial, just so we can Foolish Burial a Nian Nian into the graveyard. Realistically, you can cut this to maybe play a third Nibiru, but I still really do like Foolish Burial as a one-of. Next, we're playing triple Pot of Desires, because again, you do want to use Desires as kind of like your last card in your hand, just to draw into more hand traps after you finish comboing, because this is not one of those one card combo decks, and you are going to be kind of relinquishing card advantage with this deck. All right, next we're playing probably the best card in your deck, which is Kowloon. This card will activate Chuche straight from the deck onto your field, which is really, really nice. Next, we're playing triple Kinglong. This card is really cool because, one, if you're playing up against a Floodgate deck, you can actually activate the Kinglong, banish a Virtual World card in your graveyard, and then negate its effect, which is actually hilarious. But most of the time, you're going to be dumping it into the graveyard with a Virtual World effect to banish it to add you a Virtual World monster, while at the same time fueling your Chuche, okay? Next, we're playing the double E-Telly. E-Telly is pretty strong, but realistically, sometimes I want it to be something else, okay? Next, we're playing the double Call by the Grave, the one cross-out designator, because we are playing a plethora of hand traps. We're playing the double Chuche, which is probably one of the other better cards in the deck. And then we're playing the one Zhan Wu, which is basically a monster reborn when it's in the graveyard, okay? Now, here's where things get spicy. In our extra deck, we're playing Invoked Kaliga. Now, you're asking yourself, Susu, how do you even make this, right? We don't play Alistair. Well, luckily for you, we are playing one Muddy Mud Dragon, which we can make. And this card reads, this card can be used as a substitute for any one fusion material whose name is specifically listed on the fusion card. And what do you know? It reads Alistair the Invoker, okay? Next, we're playing the one Stardust Charge Warrior, which is a staple combo piece to allow us to draw one. Coral Dragon is basically the same thing, but you draw once you kind of synchro it off into, and when it's in the graveyard. We're playing the one Jui Jui, which we rarely go into, but still a decent card within itself. We are playing the one Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, which we can make with Ultimaya Zokin, but mind you, you do need a card that you can set, so make sure you don't use that card if you really don't need to, okay? Now, for our spice, we are playing Crystron Phoenix. This card reads one Tuner Synchro Monster, which Coral Dragon is, and one or more non-tuner Synchro Monsters, which is really, really nice. If this card is Synchro Summon, you can banish all spell and trap cards your opponent controls and in their graveyard. And if this card, Synchro Summon card, is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one other monster in your graveyard and special summon it. The next card that we are playing is Vermilion Dragon Mech. It is a Synchro 9. Really cool because you can banish a tuner in the hand or graveyard or on the field to target a card and destroy it. That effect actually does come up more than you would think, and it's also a really big beat stick, okay? Next, we're playing the one Virtual World QB Shen Shen. Sometimes Chuche Shen Shen is enough, but if it isn't, most times with this deck, your end board is generally Chuche, Shen Shen, Crystal Wing, and Kaliga, but that's a 5-card combo, and, you actually need to be pretty decent and, really have practiced it to get there. Or rather, sorry, it's a 3-card combo, but, you do need a really specific hand, okay? Next, we're playing the one Ultimaya Zokin. You can make this card with Lao Lao and Stardust Charge Warrior, summon it in the EMZ, set a card, and then it will summon you Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. We are playing the Geo Mathmech Final Sigma. This card is the bane of every back row deck because they just simply cannot out it, which is insanely cool. Next, we're playing the one Utopia Beyond, which will allow us to not even just OTK, because it makes everything 0. Like, I've beaten over a 9,000 attack Shang Ying with Utopia Beyond, which is insane. And on top of that, it's Bridge into Zeus, right? With Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger, into Zeus, giving you a 4 material Zeus. And then we are playing the one Beatrice, which again, we really, really rarely go into. And you don't need to play it if you don't have the UR materials to do so, all right? But let's move over to the Virtual World Brave variant so I can also show you the combo, and then we'll call this video a day. All right, so we're finally into the final deck, which is the same deck, but in this deck, the only changes that we have made, okay, and this is gonna be really quick, is we took out one Maxi, one Ash Blossom, and we added in the one Griffin, the double Rite of Armaseer, the one Draco bag, and the one Faithful Adventure, plus the double Water Enchanters, giving us a 45 card list. Realistically, is this more powerful? Yes. Do you give up some consistency? Yes. But now let's go over the combo video so I can kind of show you what this combo will look like. All right, so we're finally into the combo portion of this video, and I'm going to take it nice and slow to kind of give you a nice description of how this combo is supposed to look like. All right, so we're going to fire off the Rite of Armaseer, which will summon us a token, setting us activating the Faithful Adventure from the deck. And then we're going to activate Qualoon, which will activate the Chuche onto the field. Then we're going to go Lulu effect, dumping the Kinglong by targeting the Chuche, which will add us a GG to the hand. Now we're going to trigger Faithful Adventure to add the equipped spell. And then we're going to use Faithful Effect to add the Griffin. And now we can dump the equipped, use as the effect, chain the Griffin, and then we can get the equip back onto the token. Okay, so here's where things get a little bit, I guess, complicated. Okay, so we're gonna go GG effect, target the Chuche, dump the Nian Nian. Then we're gonna use GG and Lulu to go into Stardust Charge Warrior. We're gonna draw a card. It ends up being Lily, so kind of a useless card. It's okay. Next, we're gonna go Lao, target the Chuche, dump a follow-up Kinglong, summon the GG, and then Nian Nian will trigger in the graveyard, summoning herself. And then next, we're gonna go Ultimate Zokin with Lao and the Stardust Charge Warrior. We're gonna set the E-Telly because we're not gonna be summoning anymore. We could have used the E-Telly, but you would have traded the Crystal Wing for the Shen Shen, right? But I value the Crystal Wing here. So we're gonna be summoning out the Crystal Wing. Then we're gonna use GG and the Nian Nian, because Nian Nian is now a tuner, to go into Muddy Mud Dragon. And then we're gonna use Kinglong effect to add a Lao back into our hand, dumping the Lily because I just value Lao more for the following turn. And then we're going to use Muddy Mud Dragon effect, using itself and the Ultimate Zokin to go into Kaliga. And then our Chuche is live. We have a Kaliga, which means they can only use one monster effect per turn. And then we also have the Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. So we're also locked under Kaliga, but here's the thing. You either use the Omni Negate to negate whatever it is, or, you know, we use the Crystal Wing to negate the monster effect. But realistically, you're going to be using that Griffin effect more often than not, simply because if you can negate kind of like Raigeki or something, and they don't have anything else, now they have to out your board with one monster effect, which you can just like let it by, and then Chuche pop that monster so they can't beat into the Kaliga. All right, so that is the combo video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. All right, guys, that's it for me today. I know this was a super long video because we went over 5 decks. And I said it wasn't going to be in-depth, but we kind of went really in-depth. All right, so if you guys enjoyed that video, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Hit that notification bell down below, and comment down below what deck you're playing, you know, after the ban list, and what you thought about the deck list, the card choices, and kind of my thoughts on it as well. Because, you know, I really love to have that conversation down with you down below. Also, if you guys kind of want the smaller nuances of these decks, I do stream live on twitch.tv/head-to-head battles, where I do play these decks live and show you kind of like the smaller, kind of the more intricate portions of those decks, right, guys? So I spent way too much time here, okay? It's like a 30-40 minute video, all right? I don't want to take up any more of your time, guys. My name is Susu from Head-to-Head Battles, signing out.
What's up, guys? If you haven't subscribed, make sure to click that button right there in the middle.
Also, if you haven't watched that video that YouTube is recommending you, it's probably crazy, all right? Go watch it. This is Susu from Head-to-Head Battles,
Head-to-Head Battles,
signing out.